Grant Strom again, coming to you from Knox County, Illinois with BASF Innovations in the Field. I'd like to talk to you about the importance of layering herbicides. With the wet weather we've had this year, the warm, wet climate has been very conducive for weed growth. And I'm sitting in our sprayer now, was become one of the most important tools on our farm. And with all the wet weather, we've been delayed on getting a lot of stuff sprayed in terms of ideal timing, and we're really seeing the effects of that now in our fields. With those extra residuals we've layered down, especially in our soybean crop, we're not really facing a whole lot of weed pressure at this point, and it's really easy to tell the fields you drive by that have not layered residuals and are starting to show some really pretty nasty looking weeds out there that are getting quite tall, that are really starting to affect soybean growth and yield potential. So to talk a little bit about what we do on our corn herbicide residual program. On all of our no-till acres, which is the majority of our acres, we first put down Verdict, which is a BASF product. It's combining a PPO inhibitor and a long-chain fatty acid, so it has some of that BASF sharpen included in that product. We've really had great success with that product, holding back water hemp and grasses and other broadleaves that are in those types of categories, and our fields have really stayed clean. So that's kind of what we layer down first. And depending on the timing of the application, the Sharpen does a great job of burning down whatever broadleaves are in the fields. And if we have a situation where we're delayed on getting our burn downs on, we'll add a glyphosate type product, or glyphosate product in addition to that to help burn any grass down that might be coming in those fields. So layering those two products is something that those two modes of action is something that's really helped in a lot of our no-till corn situations. In over the top spraying our corn, a majority of our corn is Roundup treated corn, so we come back with the glyphosate pass post. But in a lot of our fields, we also add Status BASF products, which is a dicamba product that's a growth regulator. Has actually two forms of growth regulator in that product. And we've seen really great success, especially in situations on river bottoms where we have vines, or if we have a field with extensive water hemp issues, which have tended to develop over the last few years. That's a product that really does an excellent job, gives you a little extra residual on a post-spray application. So very happy with the performance in our cornfields this year. We got everything sprayed fairly timely on post-application. And so we're really happy with the cleanliness of our fields by layering those herbicides, and we've seen very little issues down the road. In our non-GMO corn, we've had, instead of using a glyphosate product, we use Armazon, BASF product, HPPD inhibitor, and we've had really great success with that as well. Killing the broadleaves, does a really good job on small grass and water hemp. That's one situation you don't want to let your grass get too big. But it's done an excellent job the last 2 years in our non-GMO corn of keeping those fields clean. So on the soybean side, soybeans can be a lot more challenging, as all of us that farm soybeans really know. Soybean being a broadleaf themselves, there's a lot of chemicals you can use on your cornfields that you simply cannot use on your soybean fields, and that there presents a challenge when you're trying to kill a broadleaf type weed. But what we do in all of our situations of soybeans, we're 95% no-till on soybeans. In our conventional till, we only put Prowl H2O down, which is a microtubular inhibitor. And in those situations, I will never do that again. Even in a full tillage situation, we had lamb squatter and different weeds breaking through pretty rapidly. Fortunately, we got out there and post-sprayed those products with those fields with Extreme, which is a combination of your glyphosate and Pursuit, which gives you your ALS inhibitor in there as well to prevent the grass and the lamb scorer type weeds from coming back. But in our no-till situations, we put Optil, Prowl H2O down ahead. I've already explained Prowl H2O, but Optil's ALS inhibitor plus a PPA, so it gives you a layered residual up front, and we've had tremendous success with the burn down with the Sharpen product that's included in there, and have that Pursuit product in ahead to keep the lamb scorer and the grass from really taking off. Combine that with the Prowl, we've had really good luck with that. Then over the top, all of our soybeans are Roundup treated, so we come back with our glyphosate pass. And all of our fields, starting last year, we started adding BASF's Outlook product, which, like I look at my notes here for this, is a long-chain fatty acid. So that's given us season-long water hemp and grass control that we were really struggling with here the last three cropping seasons with long-term control of water hemp. As we know, water hemp is a weed that can come in several flushes and produces millions of seeds, and once it's established can become a very large problem. So I hope on your farm, if you're not using a layered residual program for weeds, especially in a no-till situation, I highly encourage you to do so. It's real easy to drive by the fields this year that aren't using layered residuals, and even though we have not been able to run our sprayer for going on 2.5 weeks now because of mud conditions, most of our soybean fields are staying very clean, and I'm very appreciative of that we've put the time and the effort and the expense into layering those products. So if you're not doing that on your farm, I highly encourage you to look into BASF's program of herbicides and the portfolio they have available to help layer residuals and prevent weed outbreaks later on in the growing season.